The story of the boy who learned to trust Allah and the garden that came back to life. In a small village surrounded by dry hills and dusty paths, there lived a boy named Yusuf. He was 12 years old, curious, kind-hearted, and full of questions about life, Allah, and the world around him. Yusuf's family owned a small garden at the edge of the village. His father often said, "This garden is our blessing from Allah. We must take care of it with gratitude." Every morning, Yusuf would help water the plants, pull out weeds, and recite Bismillah before starting his work. The garden had pomegranate trees, date palms, and rows of vegetables that fed not only Yusuf's family, but also a few poor neighbors. His mother always reminded him of the Quranic teaching, "And eat of the good things we have provided for you, and be grateful to Allah." Quran 2:172. Yusuf loved that garden more than anything. The test begins. One year, the rain stopped falling. At first, the villagers thought it was just a delay, but weeks turned into months. The soil cracked, the rivers shrank, and the wind carried dust instead of cool air. Yusuf's garden began to suffer. The green leaves turned yellow. The fruits stopped growing. The trees that once stood tall began to droop like tired travelers. Yusuf asked his father, "Why is this happening to us? Didn't we take care of the garden?" His father looked at the dry soil and said gently, "Everything happens by the will of Allah. Sometimes He gives, and sometimes He tests." Yusuf did not fully understand. He began to worry. Every day he checked the trees, hoping for change, but nothing changed. Soon, some villagers started leaving the village in search of better land. Others complained and lost hope, but Yusuf's father continued to pray. Every night he stood in prayer, whispering, "Our Lord, do not let our hearts deviate after you have guided us." Quran 3:8. Doubt in the heart. One evening, Yusuf sat under the largest dead tree in the garden and whispered, "Maybe Allah has forgotten us." As soon as the words left his mouth, he felt uneasy inside. The night wind suddenly felt colder. That night, Yusuf couldn't sleep. His father's words echoed in his mind. Allah never forgets His servants. He remembered another verse his teacher once taught him. "Indeed, with hardship comes ease." Quran 94:6. But he still wondered, where is the ease? A wise visitor. A few days later, an old traveler arrived in the village. His clothes were simple, and his face carried the calmness of someone who had seen many seasons of life. He asked for water, and Yusuf's father welcomed him kindly. After eating, the traveler looked at the dry garden and asked, "Whose land is this?" Yusuf replied, "It belongs to us." "But it is dying?" The old man smiled gently. "Tell me, young one, what do you think a test from Allah means?" Yusuf hesitated. "It means Allah is unhappy with us?" The old man shook his head. "No. Sometimes Allah tests those He loves so they grow stronger, like gold purified by fire." He then recited, "Do the people think they will be left to say, 'We believe,' and they will not be tested?" Quran 29:2. Yusuf listened carefully. The traveler continued, "A garden is not only watered by rain. It is also shaped by patience, hope, and trust in Allah. Even when you cannot see it, Allah is working." Something in Yusuf's heart began to soften. The change in Yusuf. From that day, Yusuf changed. Instead of complaining, he began to pray more sincerely. He helped his father repair the soil. He taught younger children in the village to remain hopeful. Even when others gave up, Yusuf continued to believe. He would say, "Maybe Allah is teaching us something we cannot see yet." His faith became stronger, even though the land was still dry. The miracle of patience months passed. One morning the sky changed. Dark clouds gathered above the village. A soft wind replaced the dry desert air. Then, for the first time in a long while, rain began to fall. At first it was gentle. Then it became steady. The soil drank the water like a thirsty traveler finding an oasis. Yusuf ran into the garden barefoot, laughing and crying at the same time. The trees slowly began to revive. Green shoots appeared. The dead-looking branches showed signs of life again. His father stood beside him and said softly, "Do you see now, Yusuf?" Yusuf nodded. Allah was always with us, even when we could not see. The lesson of the garden. The garden returned to life more beautiful than before. The fruits became sweeter. The trees grew stronger roots. But something else had grown too. Yusuf's heart. He had learned that faith is not only for easy days. It is for dry days, silent days, and confusing days too. He remembered the lesson. So remember me. I will remember you. And be grateful to me, and do not deny me. Quran 2:152. Yusuf never again doubted the wisdom of Allah's timing, and the village never forgot the boy who learned that patience, trust, and gratitude can bring even a dying garden back to life. Moral of the story. Allah's timing is perfect, even when we don't understand it. Hardships are tests that strengthen faith. Patience, sabr, and trust, tawakkul, bring hidden blessings. Gratitude opens doors to mercy.